Hello students, as we've seen and started our chapter of first business studies, class 11 nature and purpose of business, we have covered indigenous banking system yesterday, rise of intermediaries, trading communities. Now we will see today merchant corporations. So merchant corporations, merchant means traders and corporation means they are setting up an institute and which by which they will be able to set up and operate from that particular center. So setting up a somewhere a center, it's called a corporation. So here, to protect the interests of the trader, some corporations were formed. So if somebody is indulged into trading some goods or commodity, the corporation will be there, and this corporation is going to take care of all the trades which will be happening over there. They formed their own rules and regulations of membership. So if you want to become a member of that particular corporation, then there are some rules and regulation, code of conduct. Again, you will have to follow a code of conduct. Like if meetings are there, then you will have to come, you will have to attend. Even the kings were supposed to accept and respect. So even the kings at that time, they used to accept this thing and respect it. Now traders had to pay octroi duties on imported goods. Trade and industry taxes were also a major source of revenue. So here we can see that there were taxes on the trade and industry, and this was the source of revenue for the traders. And also the trader has to pay the octroi duty. Octroi is just like a trade when you import some good from other countries. So these traders used to take octroi on it. Now here, third point, custom duties varied according to the communities. Tariff varied from province to province. So custom duties are also just like taxes, but they were according to the communities. In India, there were different communities like shops, Marwadis, Mahajans, so many different traders were there. So the tariff will be different from province to province, means state to state it will differ. The taxes will be different. Now, the ferry tax was another source of income generation. It had to be paid for passengers, goods, cattle, and carts. So, what is this ferry tax? Ferry tax means when you are traveling from one place to the other, then you will have to pay some taxes on it. So, this was another income generation. Doesn't matter if you're traveling you are taking your cattle from one place to the other or goods, but and the carts are going, so you will have to pay a ferry tax. Now the local bodies used to receive the tax. Local bodies, there were peoples who were collecting the taxes over there, who were having this responsibility given by the member of this corporation that you can collect this tax. So these people used to collect the tax. The guild is just like head of margins. So Mahajan community was there. So the guild was the head of Mahajan and used to deal directly with the kings. See, guild was so powerful that they can deal directly with the kings or tax collector and settle the market toll on behalf of all the merchants. So if toll means it's again a kind of tax which will be collected when when the moment of good will happen from one place to the other. So the head of the Mahajan, they used to deal directly with the kings and the tax collector and settle all the types of taxes on the behalf of the merchants. The guild merchants also acted as custodian of religious interests. They undertook the task of building temples and made donations by levying taxes on their members. Now these merchants, they are like a custodian of religious interests. Now they were also devoted towards the religions, and if suppose temple is to be built, so the donations will be made definitely, and this donation will be made by levying taxes on their members. So what happens here? The members, those people who are the member of the corporation, they will be paying taxes for the construction of the temple as well. Due to commercial activities, big merchants gain power in the society. So all these commercial activities started to increase, and the merchants in the society started gaining power and becoming rich. Now the major trade centers. In India, there were some major trade centers like Patliputra, known as Patna today. Today, Patliputra is called as Patna. It was not only a commercial town, but also a major center for export of stone. From Patliputra, the stones of different types were being exported. Peshawar, today it's in Pakistan. It was an important center for the wool and for the import of horse. It had huge commercial transaction between India, China and Rome. So from here India, so this Peshawar place, so India, China and Rome were in connections. Like India was trading with China, China was trading with India, and Rome was also doing the trading with India. So all the things were connected. There were good qualities horse in Peshawar which were being imported in India. Takshila. Takshila was the major center of land between India and the Central Asia. So Takshila was the land which was connected between the India and the Central Asia. It was also a city of financial and commercial bank. So here the banks were there because the when the commercial activity started happening, so automatically the financial and commercial bank began to set up over there. So it was a place of Buddhist center of learning. So at this place, what was been learning center for Buddhists, the famous Takshila University flourished here. Now the famous Takshila University was set up by the Chandragupta Maurya under the guidance of Kautilya. So he was just like not a guidance, but he was a advisor to the Chandragupta Maurya. So this person Vishnu Gupta or Chanakya, he was helping in setting up an university over there. Today it's in this place is in Islamabad and Rawalpindi. So Takshila was there in the past, but today it's a part of Pakistan. So from there the trade was happening between India and the Central Asia. Now Indraprasth. Now, Indraprasth, it was a commercial junction on the Royal Road, where most of the routes landing to the east, west, south, and north converged. So, Indraprasth, basically, this was in Delhi. Now, it was just like a junction from where the east, west, and north every route was connected. Mathura, it is in Uttar Pradesh. It was an emporium of trade. Many routes from South India touched Mathura and Bharuch. So, this place Mathura was connected to the South India and Bharuch. Now Varanasi, it grew as a major center of textile industry and became famous for beautiful gold and silk cloth. So Varanasi is already famous for its good quality silk cloth and sandalwood workmanship. So there were some artisan who used to make sandalwood articles. So they used to sell all this stuff. It had a link with Takshila and Bharuch. Now this also having a link with Bharuch and Takshila. Mithila. Mithila established trading colonies in South China, especially in Yunnan. So Mithila established trading colonies in South China in Yunnan. Yunnan means it's a place in China. So there they were starting to make some trading colonies over there. So the trade was fast after this establishment between China and India. Now Ujjain. Agate, carnelian, muslin, all this type of stones are agate and carnelian are type of stone. Muslin is a type of cloth, mallow cloth, were exported from Ujjain to different centers. So the clothes and these stones were exported to different sectors. So Ujjain name is also there, which is in Madhya Pradesh. Now Surat, it is in Gujarat right now. Textile of Surat was famous for the gold border zari. So Gujarat, Surat is famous for this zari work. The Surat handis were honored in far off market of Egypt and Iran. So handis of Surat were so popular that they can be even set off easily in the places like Egypt and Iran, which were far from here. Kachi. Now this is in Tamil Nadu. Here Chinese used to come in foreign ships to purchase pearls. Now why these Chinese are coming here in India? First they want to purchase pearls, glass, raw stones, and in return they sold gold and silk. So because at that time when the trade was going on, right now we say that in South gold is lot of there in a huge quantity gold is there. So why what is the reason why the gold is so much in South? So basically you can see the reason that the Chinese were trading with this in this southern regions. So that is the reason in return they used to give gold and silk. So this is how the gold was flowing in India. That's why the India was called as a place of gold or sone ki chidiya also. That's why the Indian wealth was good at that in ancient times. Now Madurai, again, it is in Tamil Nadu. It was the capital of the Pandyas. It is known as the capital of the Pandyas. It attracted foreign merchants, particularly Romans, for carrying out overseas trade. Now from Madurai, today is not Madura, it is Madurai. So it is a place where it got the attention of lot of the traders, and especially Romans. If they want to do any kind of trade, they used to come to this place, because many people come to know about the about India, that they were trading in spices, clothes, stones. So India became famous at that time. So many far countries, they got this name, and they were in search of India. And even Romans, they used to carry out overseas trade. Now Kaveri Patta, now also known as Kaveri Patnam, it it was scientific in its construction as a city, provided loading, unloading, and strong facilities of merchandise. It was a center of trade of perfumes, cosmetics, sand, silk, wool, cotton, corals, pearls, gold, and precious stones. Now, Kaviripata again is in Tamil Nadu. Now, it is scientifically, it is in construction as a city, providing loading, unloading of strong facilities of merchandise. Means it is connected with the sea areas. So all this loading and unloading work was done over there, and there were good facilities for this trades. Now this again, this was the center of the trade. If you want to buy, or if you want to deal in products like perfume or scent or cosmetics, silk, wool, gold, precious stone, then corals, then this was the place. And most of the people used to come and trade in Kaveri Patta. Now Tamralipatti, this is in Bengal, West Bengal. So it is there in the Bay of Bengal. So the sea route was connected from the Bay of Bengal. It was one of the major greatest ports, connected by both by sea and land with west and east. So this place is connected with the west as well as far east. So both these Arabian countries and these western countries, they used to come for purchasing all these goods. It was linked by road to Banaras and Takshila. Now again, the roadways were there. It was linked to Banaras and as well as Takshila. Takshila, already I told you, today is in Islamabad or Rawalpindi, near that places. Now here, major export and imports. So major exports included spices. Spices, we are famous for spices, wheat, sugar, indigo. It was the blue color substance which used to color the clothes. British used to export a lot when they occupied India and made India as their colony. Sesame oil, cotton, parrots, live animals, even animals were transported, or sorry, exported. Product like hides, hides means animal skins, spines, furs, horns, all these animals product, tortoise shells. Today all these things are should be avoided, not to be sold, but in many countries there is good demand for it still, so they want to buy it. Pearls, or their sapphire, quartz, the stones, crystal, lapis granites, turquoise, and copper, especially copper also exported. So all different type of stones, animals and animal products, live animal as well as product like hides means leather. So cotton, parrots, sugar, indigo, so many spices were being exported from India. You can see here the items which are exported are more in quantity. So we were earning more from the other peoples, or the sorry, other countries. Now major import included horses. Now what do we import? Horses from outside. These Middle East countries used to sell horses. Their horses are considered as the best. So we were importing horses and animal products. Chinese silk was famous. So Chinese silk used to come from the China. Flax linen, wine, gold, silver, tin, copper, lead, rubies, coral, glass, and amber. So all these product, amber, glass, corals are found in the seas. Rubies are type of stones. Metals were there. So all these things used to import. Still the goods here which used to export are more than the import at that time. So at that time our balance of trade means we were earning more by selling our goods to the other countries, and we were very wealthy at that time. Now position of Indian subcontinent in world economy, 1 AD up to 1991. Between 1st and the 7th century, what was the condition of India? Let's read it. India was the largest economy in the ancient and the medieval world, controlling about one third and one fourth of the world wealth. So at that time, about 25% of the wealth was in India. That's why at that time, the India was the richest one. The country was referred to be as Swarn Bhumi or Swarn Dip in writing many travelers. So many travelers had described there in their stories that India is called as the Swarn Bhumi. Swarn because gold was because whenever we used to sell, we used to receive gold articles from the other countries. This is how, that is why, this is the reason we were called as Sonex Chedia or Swan Bhumi, Swan Deep, and many countries used to know about us. And later on, what happened? Britisher they just came and got control and taken all this wealth from us. Okay, so we were in a very good condition at that time. Second point, the pre-colonial period in the Indian history was an age of prosperity of the Indian economy. So before India was not colonized by the Britisher, at that time there was a lot of prosperity in the Indian economy and we were wealthy at that time. This made the European embark a great voyage of discovery. When these Europeans discovered India, they started trading with us, and they soon realized the reward of trade in exchange of goods and services. Sorry, gold and silver. So they were providing us gold and silver, and what we were giving them different type of spices and different type of products, gemstones, stones, all this kind of stuff which we were making. So India was famous for its clothes, even its clothes in the earlier ancient times. Now, despite of growing commercial sector in India was far behind the Western European in technology, innovation and ideas. So we'll talk about the Western Europe part. So there was good technology and innovation in different various fields. But in India, the commercial sector was very far behind. So increasing control of East India Company causing lack of freedom. So East India Company, these people, this Britisher, this was a British company, and they what they used to do, they used to talk to the kings and get a hold at some places where they can trade only, and they will eliminate the rest of the competitors such as Dutch people and all. So they are like that. So they used to take complete control. So because of them, they lacked freedom. Now, no occurrence of agriculture and scientific revolution. So in India, the agriculture facilities were very poor at that time, and no, there was no scientific revolution. Revolution means some kind of technology or anything which can be used in agriculture. So there was nothing, and Indian agriculture was backward. Third, limited reach of education to the masses. At that time in India, there were very few people who were educated. So even the reach to the education to the children were very poor. All this made Indian country which was prosperous because we were trading, so we were wealthy at that time, but the people were poor. Okay. Now the British Empire began to take roots in India in the early middle 18th century. The East India Company used revenues generated by our province for purchasing raw material, spices and goods. This led to the stop of inflow of foreign exchange. Now, what happened when this British India, this empire, they began to establish and taking control over the India in the 18th century. So all this revenue which was generated in our areas, they used to just capitalize Indian resources, and they used to take raw material, spices, and goods. Okay, so this led to the stop of inflow and foreign exchange, because when they were started exploiting, what happened? The other places from where we were trading, so it all got impacted, and there was stop of foreign exchange. Like we were earning like gold and all. So when these people came, everything changed because they were taking control over India. So but because of this, the other things got impacted. The fifth point, this changed the condition of Indian economy from being an exporter of the processed goods to the exporter of the raw material and buying of manufactured good. Now what happened? This Britisher were having a policy of dual exploitation. What they used to do, they used to export the raw material from India to their companies which were established therein. British. So in London they were having lot of companies. So for industrial, their industries which were there, what they were using raw material from India. So they were exporting cotton from India to those places, and their industries flourished because of us. And after that, what they were doing, they were setting a market in India, and they were selling their machine made goods in India. And because of that, the product which were manufactured in India, like India was also making clothes, handmade clothes, good quality ones. So what happened, because of this machine made cloth which was there in the market, it was cheap in price, and Indian product was higher in price. This again led to the downfall of all these skilled laborers which who were producing these clothes, and there was demand for this British clothes. So that's why we are called as exporter of raw material and imported of manufactured goods. The manufactured good was the British machine made cloth. Now India begins to reindustrialize. After independence, what happened? We started 5-year plans and implemented in 1952. Due importance was given to the establishment of the modern technological and scientific institution, space and nuclear programs. So when India got independence and these 5-year plans were being made, so what we did, we tried to establish ourselves. We focused on technological institutions and teaching institutions, so that the people can get the knowledge. So we started spending on education. Modern technologies were used. In agriculture field also different scientific techniques used, so that we can increase the production of crops, so that we would be in condition to sell those products in the other countries. Now after that, the space and nuclear programs were made, so this made us strong. Despite this effort, the Indian economy could not develop at a rapid pace due to lack of capital formation. See, we got the freedom, but in India the main problem was of capital formation, means money. So the people were not ready to invest their capital. If even if somebody is having, so they were not able to take the risk, because at that time the control was very strict, and there were a lot of licensing requirement was there in the Indian economy to establish the industries. So this was the problem, so nobody was ready to invest, even if he is having money. So industrialization moved on, but at a very slow rate. After that, rise in population was there, so that was another concern. Huge expenditure on defense and inadequate infrastructure. So infrastructure, road, railways, the transportation. In terms of road, there were very few roads which were there, which were of good quality. So transportation is an important factor. If you want to start industries and trade and all, you need good roads, so that you can transport your goods from one place to the other. So those facilities were not there in India. And rising population was increasing the debt over India, because we had to look after those people, so that they do not die out of a hunger. So huge expenditure was there on defense as well as on this population. In defense, why the expenditures were more? Because we had a fight with China and Pakistan in between, so that was the problem. Because of this, the heavy expenditure was there. A lot of money was invested in the defense goods, so that was another problem. As a result, India relied heavily on borrowings from the foreign sources, finally agreed to economic liberation. So what happened? India was burdened with lot of borrowings. We have taken lot of loan from the other foreign countries. So what happened because of this? We were ready to liberalize. We opened the gate for the other countries to come, and we started new economic policy in year 1991. Okay, so just introduced LPG reforms. So liberalization, privatization and globalization were introduced, so that the companies can invest in India, they can start their production. Because of that, the employment rate and growth will again generate in India. Fourth point, the Indian economy is one of the fastest growing economy in the world. So today we are growing at a very good rate. The rising income, saving, investment opportunity, increased domestic consumption, and younger population ensure growth for decades to come. Now, we in today's scenario, we Indians, if you say that we are around 140 crores right now. So the higher percentage of youngsters are there in the country. So if they are trained properly and well educated, they can do better in the upcoming years. So rising income, saving, investment opportunity will also increase. Okay, so domestic consumption means the things which we are buying like cars, goods, various stuffs which we buy from the market. So when consumption increases, automatically companies will also invest money in their business, and it will lead to generation of more employment and growth. Now, 6 point, the high growth sectors have been identified which are likely to grow at a rapid pace all world over. Now, different high growth sectors are already been identified. Now they are going to rise in all over the world. So already we are working on it. Even like we are working on outsourcing. This is a new thing which we have learned, and we are really our IT sector is doing a really good job in these areas. We are actually selling our skilled labor force. Suppose we are good in making software, so we can make software for America, US, and we can sell them to the Americans. So this is how outsourcing is going on right now in India. The recent initiatives of the government like Make in India, Skill India, Digital India, and roll out foreign trade policy. Now this new foreign trade policy has got good points which will remove the drawback of the previous ones. So this helps in especially to help economy in terms of export import and trade balance. So trade balance means the today we are importing more and exporting less. So what will happen in future, maybe because of this digital Make in India and this Digital India concept. Digital India means making transaction payment by the help of internet, over internet, like internet banking and all. So this black money will be gone if you'll do that, and taxes will also come to the government. Make in India concept says that all the even the foreign based company, they can come India and do the production. They can establish their production unit and do the production. So the products will be made in India. So this was another good initiative, and because of that, what will happen when the good will be made, they will be exported. So because of that, our trade balance trade will also increase. Means in terms of export, will be again in the condition where we'll be exporting more goods and importing less. So hopefully that day will also come in the upcoming years. Now this is the Make in India concept. What does it say? Make in India is an initiative launched by the government of India on 25th September 2014 to encourage national as well as MNCs, multinational companies like Nike, Coca-Cola, Puma, all this to manufacture their products in India. So they will be manufacturing their product in India. The major objective of Make in India was job creation and skill enhancement. So this will create employment as well as skill will be developed. So there are various sectors like automobile, aviation, chemical, defense, manufacturing, electronic, leather, mining, pharmaceutical, biotechnology, construction, electrical machinery, food processing, media, oil and gas, port and ship. So in most of the sector, these MNCs are coming. So this is good for in India. Like here, pharmaceuticals, already we are making a lot of medicines, railways there, road and highways, textile. So most of the sectors are covered here. Thermal power and all these sectors, these are two main sectors. But when this program was launched, it was bringing good hopes for India for its future. So in this video we covered this much part. Now in next video we will be covering business and its nature, significance, concept and all. Okay, so till then, thank you.